I love everything about being Italian. And I'm actually only half Italian. You take the best part of Italy and the best part of America and you put them together and you get me. And I've learned to be authentic over the years, to be authentically me. And it's been really great. How many of you have some type of cultural background, maybe an immigrant parent or grandparent, or you came yourself from another country? Good, about half of you here. So I hope you enjoy some of these stories about me growing up with an Italian mom. My mom is from Naples, Italy. Her name is Rita Anna Maria Farina, was her maiden name. In Italy, we have all of these A's all of the time. So that's how you know when someone's really from Italy. Everything ends in an A in Italy. I have these great memories of coming home from school, opening the door, and being hit with this wall of garlic smell. Do you want to win a spot in an Italian man's heart? Just use garlic as perfume. And I would step into the house, and the garlic was dripping on the ceiling and on the draperies, and it had permeated all of the carpeting and everything. The whole place was full of the smell of garlic, and I love the smell of garlic. And there in the middle of it all was my 5 foot even, she always made sure to have the even in there, my 5 foot even Italian mom, stirring away at the pasta sauce. The spoon wasn't really this big, just with a 5 foot even Italian mom, it seemed like it was that big. Stirring away at the sauce. Jimmy, I'm making these meatballs special for you. Italian meatballs, they're pretty simple in recipes. There's not complex ingredients in it. All Italian food is really simple. You take some meat, you take some breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese, salt, pepper, a couple of eggs. You mix it all in there. But my mom had a secret ingredient. Jimmy, I'm making these meatballs special for you. I put a secret ingredient in them. I take the meat, I make it into the ball, and when I make it into the little ball, I put the love in it. That's the secret ingredient in my mom's Italian meatballs, the love. Italian culture is centered around the table. Everything we do, we have food, we eat, we have more food, and no matter how much you eat or how high you pile your plate, they always tell you, eat a little bit more. Come on, you're looking too skinny. You could be 400 pounds. You look too skinny. Come on, eat some more food. It's wonderful. I love that part of it. The food is wonderful. It's simple. And the coffee, I was 5 years old, and I got to go live in Italy for a couple of years. My father had been abusive to my mom, and we needed to go back to family, and so that's where my mom was from, and that's where we went. Espresso every single morning. As a 5-year-old. They don't do it without sugar in it. It's required that it comes with sugar in it. My aunt, who has become a little Americanized, she came to the States about 30 years ago. She went back for a visit, and she was trying to watch her sugar because she was pre-diabetic. And she tried to order espresso without sugar in it, and they're like, "What's the matter, you? You crazy? What, no sugar?" They just can't figure that out. Why would you have espresso without sugar? And it shows in my aunts and uncles' teeth. When they smile, even at the age of 35, all you see is black. And part of that is the lack of fluoride in the water. So I should send my wife, who's a dental hygienist, over there to teach them about some of the proper hygiene. And everybody is loud. You're sitting around this table, and everybody is loud. My wife will get on me all the time. She's not Italian. She's as beautiful as Italian women are. And my relatives think that she's Italian, but she's not Italian. So she says, "James, you're being loud. Can you keep it quieter? It's just you and me in here." I said, "I'm not being loud. Why are you saying I'm loud? This is loud." It's just part of what you do. You're sitting around the table. Everyone wants to talk and add their part in it because it's very important. Italians are very emotional, and we want to get that emotion out there. And you'll see families that are fighting, and they're almost like about to kill each other, and it's because one of them thinks that Aunt Rosie has the best meatballs, and the other one thinks that Aunt Jonna has the best meatballs, and they're about to kill each other, but it's just because they're very passionate about their meatballs. Meatballs are important. Don't tell this to my mom, but my meatballs are better than hers. Took me a long time to get them to that point. There's a cool tradition in Italy. A lot of people name their first daughter after their grandmother. And I didn't get to meet my grandmother. She passed away at a young age. I was about 3 years old. But when I went to Italy, she had already passed away. And we'd have these family gatherings, and someone would shout out, "Angela, come here." And 4 or 5 little girls would come running around. My grandmother's name was Angela. I didn't follow that tradition. I named my daughter Christine, and my mom's name is Rita. And I had never seen the name Rita for the longest time, except for people her age, until recently. I've seen a couple of little kids with the name Rita. So I got to live in Italy for 2 years as a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old. It was great. No school. Pasta every day. Espresso every day. My favorite uncle, Zio Salvatore. He was about 10 years older than me. He was a teenager when I went in Italy. And he brought his guitar everywhere to all the family gatherings. And he'd be playing his guitar. And in Italy, the culture is to encourage you to sing. And the louder and more boisterous you sing, the better it is. When the moon hits the sky like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Bravo, Jimmy, bravo, bravo. Didn't matter how loud or obnoxious you were, they just encouraged it more and more. It's cute when it's in a 5-year-old, 6-year-old little kid. My mom loves to sing. And when she sings, she's gone to different churches, and she'll ask, can I sing a solo, please? Can I sing a solo? And they'll say, sure, you can sing a solo. And she stands up there all 5 foot even of her. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Maybe she might sing another one. People need the Lord. People need the Lord. Poor lady, she only got to sing a solo one time at each church. I saw her one time, and I felt so bad because I felt bad for the pastor, not necessarily for my mom, because she cornered him after singing her solo. Pasta, she called the thing you eat on Sunday afternoon. We call it pasta, and that was also the name for the head of the church, the pasta. Pasta, please let me sing another solo. I love to sing, and I'm so good. And the pastor would try to be so nice. Rita, we appreciate that you did the solo, but we have a rule now. We just started the rule the week after you sang your solo. The rule is that you have to sing with a piano accompaniment. No a cappella stuff in church. It's just a rule we have. I hope you understand. Pastor, I tell you already, I don't like singing with the accompaniment. They don't know how to follow me. Rita, I'm sorry. It's the rule that we have. And my mom would get mad, and she'd tell me, and I would witness this whole thing. And the pastor, the pasta, he was so gracious, so kind. He tried the best way. He never said, you sound bad. He just said, we'll let you sing with accompaniment. But my mom had this kind of like a complex. And my father died a few years after that, so my mom became a widow. And she remarried at some point. But she would always say, Jimmy, the pastor, he no like me. And I would say, why would he not like you, Mom? You're nice. He no let me sing the solo. I said, Mom, he just said there's a rule. Jimmy, he no like me because I'm an Italian widow. That was her excuse for everything, that it was because she was an Italian widow. We've turned it into a joke now in our family. And if they get my order wrong at McDonald's, I love my mom to death. I don't mean to put her down, but they get my order wrong at McDonald's, and I'll joke with my wife and I'll say, honey, it's because I'm the son of an Italian widow. And when they mess up on her French fries, then she says it's because she's the wife of the son of an Italian widow. My poor mom. My poor mom. As I was saying, the Italian culture is centered around food. Everything is centered around food. How many of you love lasagna? Yes, lasagna is good. My recipe for lasagna is in my book if you'd like to get that, and a couple of other recipes and some funny stories. Lasagna was one of my mom's specialties, and she could make delicious lasagna. And the lasagna tied into the girls I was dating when I was in high school. And I would bring these girls home, and I thought, she's the one. Mom, she's the one. I can feel it in my heart. I know she's the one that God has for me. And all Italian sons, they bring their girls they are interested in to their Italian mom to meet. And my mom would cook lasagna and cook a special dinner. And then I was so anxious once the girl left to find out what Mom thought. Mom, what did you think of this girl? I know she's the one. Jimmy, she's not the one for you. Mom, you don't understand. This is the nicest girl I have ever met. My heart just goes all aflutter. Jimmy, I no care. She no have no meat on her bones. She's not the one for you. I was sad. I have to live this life of singleness and celibacy. I don't know if I could do that. No one's going to ever please my Italian mom. In 11th grade, between my 11th and 12th grade year, I met my beautiful wife, and we started dating, and I brought her home. And I thought, this is going to be the same as all the other girls. She's going to say, she's not the one for you, and I'm just going to have to keep looking. I could tell there was something different about this one. I mean, it was too early to say, and by then I had grown up a little bit, and I wasn't all thinking that this was the one definitely. I was like, let's wait and see. But as soon as my mom met her and Susan went back home, she said to me, Jimmy, she's the one for you. I said, Mom, you just met her one time. How could you be so sure? All these other girls, you said, they're not the one, this one's not the one, that one's not the one. I dated a lot of girls, and they all weren't the one. But now you know that this is the one? How do you know, Mom? And she said, Jimmy, I know she's the one because she asked for seconds. So lasagna is a predictor of marital success. When we had graduated from high school, my wife took a year off to go to modeling school, and she really learned a lot of self-confidence during that time. And in a special event that she went to, Chuck Norris was there. And like probably most actors think and actresses think, it's like, of course these young ladies and these young men are going to want me to kiss them. So Chuck Norris kissed my wife. And I want you to know, before she had kissed him, she had kissed me. And she kissed Chuck Norris and me. And she picked me. Take that, Chuck Norris. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it, Chuck. As a school teacher, I used to teach high school. I teach middle school now. I had the opportunity one time to take these 4 young ladies to an honor orchestra up in Greeley, Colorado, at the University of Northern Colorado. And they were like normal teenage girls, and they were having their normal teenage girl talk. And they were talking to each other, and they said, I can't wait to fall in love someday. And that all 4 of the girls were like the same way. I can't wait to fall in love. They were just pining for that love. And at that time, I had been married 20 plus years already. And your definition of what true love is changes over that time. And I said, you guys don't know what love is. It's like you're pining for something that isn't real. You don't know what it is. And then, oh, Mr. Divine, you're just an old fuddy-duddy, and you don't remember what it's like. So I gave them this illustration that popped into my head at that moment. I said, the love you're talking about is like Totino's frozen pizza. It costs $1.29 at the grocery store. It will fill up a young person, and you can cook it in the microwave in 2 minutes. And so it's not that it tastes bad. It doesn't taste too bad. It's not good for you, but it doesn't taste too bad. And it's only $1.29, so you can't beat that. That's what the heart-thumping love you're talking about is like. But there are pizza places. Napolitan pizza is the best. And there's a certifying organization that even comes here in the United States. I don't know how many places are certified, but not very many, where you can get certified Napolitan pizza that's handmade with this Caputo flour, and you have to cook it in the wood-fired oven. There's all the quality is controlled from the first step to the last step, and you do it on linen tablecloths, and everything is nice about it. But it's $30 for that pizza. That's what true love is like. When you go through cancer and job loss and raising children and all these kind of things in your life, when you face these life trials and you last through that, that's when you have the true love, the Napolitan pizza, not Totino's. And when I told them that, then they seemed to understand a little bit more about what love was like. Most of the time, Mom used the spoon for making sauce. But sometimes it was used for toto. Toto is the Italian word for spanking. Nothing worse than an Italian woman chasing you. Jimmy, you come in here right now. I give you toto. Mom, are you crazy? I'm not going to come there right now. Jimmy, you not come in here right now. You see that nice policeman over there? He's going to put you in the jail, and you will never, 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 never have my meatball again. Oh, when you put it that way, Mom. So I'd go for my spanking, and if my mom just spanked, that might be okay. But my mom did what I call speak the spank. Didn't I tell you? Never, never. Jimmy, what was it you did again? I hit my sister with the Wonder Woman action figure. Didn't I tell you never hit your Wonder Woman action figure? Oh, maybe I should have just said I hit her with the bat. But there was love in my family too. It wasn't just all about Toto. One of the funny things about growing up Italian was the words my mom would use. She never got over her thick accent. She's still alive, by the way. She's 75 years old, but she still has a thick accent. And it made for some funny situations growing up. There was a man that she worked for. This man had his own catering business, and he was so skinny from his calves to his thighs. His chest and neck were all skinny. But he was a little bit bigger in the middle. I think he was a good caterer, had made a lot of good food, so he enjoyed his food. Maybe he was part Italian. And my mom doesn't realize how fortunate she was. She cleaned people's houses, so she worked for this man and cleaned his house. And when we were little kids, she would say, okay, you sit here now and color at the dining room table. Don't move, don't get up, don't touch anything. And she thought it was normal for boys. Like I would play with my cars and I'd be just like, yeah, my cars are driving And then when my 3 boys, when they were little, they'd be like crashing them and wheels would go flying. And she would say, "You're the boys, they no normal." I said, "Mom, I was the one who wasn't normal." But she would sit us there, and she always taught us to be respectful. And we called this guy Mr. Belly. "Mr. Belly, can we please get a glass of water? Can we get something to eat? Can we use your bathroom? Is that okay?" And Mr. Belly would always graciously let us do these things. When I was older, my sister and I were older, reminiscing with my mom, and we said, "Mom, it seems kind of mean we called this guy Mr. Belly. I mean, maybe he was self-conscious about his weight. Why did we do that?" She said, "No, his name no Mr. Belly. His name Mr. Belly." I said, "What?" No, no, like the stomach. Belly, belly. I said, "Oh, Mom, do you mean, was he Mr. Bailey?" "Yes, that's what I say, Mr. Belly." The poor guy, his self-esteem over the years, he probably needed some body painting to help him out. One time we went to the store, and my mom needed this specific product. So we walk into the store, and she corners the clerk, and she says, "Excuse me, sir, you have the oleo for the French?" "The oleo for the French?" "Yes, the oleo for the French. You know speak English?" So I butted in at that point, and I said, "Mom," I told the man, I said, "Sir, I think she means the oil for the furniture." And so he said, "Oh, of course," on aisle 7. My mom and I were walking out of the store, and I think, I'm going to help my mom to be able to speak this correctly now. So I said, "Mom, repeat after me, because if I hadn't been here, the guy would have never understood what you're saying. So try this, Mom. Oil. All. For the," I was taller than her by this point. "For the," okay, Mom, you're doing well. This is the hard one now. Furniture. Furniture. Good job, Mom. Now put it all together. Oil for the furniture. Oleo for the French. It's actually been a great gift to have, because when I meet people from foreign countries with thick accents, I'm often able to understand what they're trying to say, even when they have limited English. My mom didn't start driving until she was in her mid-30s. And at the time in Italy, most wives didn't get their license, and we took a bus everywhere, we walked everywhere. There's also something that I feel fortunate to be in live in some ways, because we would often get rides from Navy guys. We lived in a Navy town, Norfolk, Virginia. And they'd pull up in their late model sports car and whistle. I can't whistle like they did, but they like, "Hey, baby, why don't you come on and ride in my car, and we can do some things tonight?" Thank you, thank you. And she would say yes, and we were young little kids, so we didn't know any better. My sister and I would hop in, but when we were older, once again, a lot of things we asked my mom about when we were older. "Mom, I know you felt like you didn't have a ride, or the bus was going to be a long time in coming, but were you not worried?" And she said that she just thought if they had a Navy bumper sticker, then they were just out for some fun and things were going to be okay. I'm just grateful to be alive. I made it through that. But then this same woman who got her license at age 35, she was my driving instructor. "Now, Jimmy, be careful. Be very careful. Jimmy, watch out. You tried to kill me." "Mom, all I'm doing is putting on my seatbelt." It was scary to be taught by her. But I have to admit, and you can probably ask my kids about it, I kept some of that, because then when my kids were learning to drive, they said, "We want Mom to teach us." So I think I was the same way as her. In Italy, when I was little in Italy, it was kind of weird because the lights were backwards from what we have here. And it wasn't on purpose. The law was still red means don't go. One time my uncle had a red signal, and he caught the attention of a policeman on the corner and spoke to him with kind of his eyes like, can I go? And the policeman said, yeah, go ahead and go. But here's what usually happened. The light would turn green, but the people with the red light were still pouring through, and they would leave not even a little bit of space, and they just kept going. And the person in the front of the line, he's inching forward a little bit, and just waiting for that one person that just left 2 inches instead of 1, so then they could zoom in. But by the time that person did that, then the light had turned red. Well, all these people who've been waiting for the light to turn and they didn't get a chance to go, they're not going to wait, so then they just kept going. So if you watch it, you'd think their lights are backwards. They're going when it's red and they're stopping when it's green. It's just part of the culture there. So you just have to get used to it. There are Italians in the Bible. Let me just paint the picture for you of the story when Jesus spoke to 5,000. And there's a lot of people who say it was 5,000 men. So if you include the wives and children, then it's probably 10 to 15,000 people that were there. And they were out in the wilderness, and he was speaking all day. And at some point, the disciples said, Jesus, we need to send these people away. They've been here all day. They don't have anything to eat. And Jesus said, you feed them. And they said, Jesus, we don't have anything. And it would take like 6 or 9 months of wages. We're talking like $30,000 to feed all of these people in today's money. And there was one little boy. He had 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Now, those were not hugely, miraculously big fish. Jesus multiplied that food. But I bet you that there was enough to feed at least 4 people in that lunch, because I think that boy was Italian. Because nobody else had their lunch. So you don't go out without your mom packing you a lunch. And then Jesus was Italian too, because he fed so many people. And so that's just the proof that he was Italian. My mom was very naive. My sister and I had this button collection. You know, the old buttons like, I like Ike, vote for Bush, kiss me, I'm Italian, all those kind of buttons. And my mom gave us a little Easter button. And it was like pastel green and different colors, and we were so proud to wear that button. It was pastel green, and it was a Easter springtime button. It had a picture of a chicken on it, like just being born. So the chicken's looking out at the world and happy and content, and we had identical buttons, and we were so proud we wore them to school. It's like, look at my Easter button, look at my chicken button. We'd wore them around the neighborhood. Check out my button, isn't that pretty cool? We even wore them to church. I said to my pastor, check out my button, pastor. And the pastor looks at my button, he's like, that looks like a cool button, Jimmy. What does it say? I just got laid. My mom gave us those buttons. We were 9 and 10 years old. We didn't even know what that meant. But we proudly wore those chicken buttons. A successful life has 4 ingredients in it. The first ingredient that you need to have is faith. And everyone needs to start where they're at with their faith. And then you can move forward from there. So maybe you say, I don't believe that there's any God. Then start looking for the truth. And when you find truth, apply that truth in your life. When you find something that's false, then quit doing that. So many times people don't apply the truths they already know, and then that holds them back. You take an obvious one like smoking. And I'm not saying this to condemn anyone who's a smoker. I still love you whether you smoke or not. But no one can say, I smoke and I don't know that it's bad for me. No one can say that. All the evidence and proof shows it. So when you find a truth, apply that truth in your life. Faith. Ingredient number 2, family. I grew up without a dad in my life, and that was really hard. I struggled with trying to learn who God was and what God was like. And then when I became a father myself, that really helped me a lot. But I always had my mom, and I've always had my sister. And my wife and I, we've been married for 32 years, and we have 4 beautiful kids and 6 beautiful grandkids. And we would do anything for them, and they would do anything for us. When you have family in your life, when you face the hardships, it makes it easier. I knew a guy who was estranged from his family, and he ended up homeless at one point. I knew him in the Army, but he didn't have someone he could go to. We always know that if we got kicked out of our house, if we both lost our jobs, we always have some place that we can go to. Family. Faith and family. Ingredient number 3, food. Good food. One of the things, and Italians take it a little bit too seriously. That's why I think half Italian is the best. But good food. We don't have good food a lot of times in our country. We had good food today. We have some really healthy stuff. And in Italy, the ingredients are simple, just like the ingredients that you're seeing in the back. There's not 20 different spices in Italian food. In fact, if you ever see something that says, if you pick up something at a grocery store and it says Italian spices, take it and throw it. Because it's got like 20 different things in it, and that's not Italian. You might have 20 Italian foods with one of those spices in each one. So food is very, very important. Fun is the 4th F. If you don't have some fun, yeah. If you don't have fun in your life, then you don't know what you're missing. If you wanted to know, I could actually show you one of my life goals is to act my shoe size, 9.5, and not my age. And those are the 4 ingredients. Now, my Italian grandfather is here today, and I wanted to invite him to give you some words of wisdom that you can carry forward in your life. He's 92 years old. He snuck in the back at a couple of points, but he's disappeared right now, and I'm going to go see if I can go get him. Okay, so Papa Jimmy, come on out. We're ready for you. Papa Jimmy, wake up. Wake up. Why are you sleeping? Come on, Papa Jimmy. Everyone's waiting. Everybody's waiting for you. Jimmy, I tell you, no waking me up for no reason. No waking me up for no reason unless it's for a meatball, or if your grandma want to have some private time with me. Okay? Nothing else. Ciao. I lost my glasses. I don't know if I can read, but I have some advice for you. I hope you like my advice. I'm 92 years old, and I've been in the back. I listen to what some of you say. I just want to say, we Italians, we invented the body painting. You try sometime to cook the sauce all day. If you have the white shirt on, it's not white anymore. If you have no shirt, you have it all red. And we have the grapes when we make the wine. You stomp the wine, your feet, they're all purple. You can see, it took me 92 years, but I finally learned to be authentically you. No, I be authentically me. Taken me 92 years, but you can see it. My grandkids, just like your second speaker, my grandkids, they tell me I'm a Christian psycho. Oh no, wait, that's a little bit different. But I'm a Christian psycho. It's okay, but I'm being authentically you. I mean me. This is my advice for you. Number 1, eat. We call it Italy because we wanted you to eat. My mama, my Italian mama, she tell me, Italian food, she have no calories. No calories. You eat all that you want until you turn 35. You see the Italian men, they look beautiful in the skinny jeans, the pointy shoes. Then they turn 35 and they have the belly. And they become a Mr. Belly. Advice number 2. I don't take no medicine. I'm 92 years old. But I take a one medicine my mama telling me to always take. She say, take the chill pill. Take the chill pill. This is the only medicine you need for a healthy life. Relax. In America, you always in a rush everywhere to go somewhere. Take the chill pill. Advice number 3. You must have the balance in your life. Sometimes you eat. Sometimes you exercise. Sometimes you work. Sometimes you take a day off. But always listen to some good music. Spend the time with the family. And have the balance in your life. Number 4. You remember that cartoon many years ago? It had that man, he's a strong man, he eats a spinach every day. Popeye, toot toot. You remember? Who do you remember Popeye?
Oh, yeah.
Popeye, he was a strong. And then there was a man on there, he was a Brutus. In Italy, brutto means ugly. And this man was ugly. And both of them, they fight for this one woman. I don't know what they see in her. But maybe because her name, she's olive oil. This is my advice number 4. You see my face? She only look at 52. Every day, I put some olive oil on my face. I take the bottle. I drink some olive oil. She keep me young. This is why Popeye, toot toot, and Brutus, why they love olive oil, because of her name. She have a beautiful name. And she's a beautiful person. I didn't mean to say she's not a nice person. Advice number 5. Sex. I recommend it. But this is a big but. Italians, we like it, the big but. This is a big but. First, come the love. Love, you know, we call it love, but she's not really love. The kind of boom, 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 your heart. She go boom, boom. This come first. It come with everybody. When you're young, you think it's a love, but it's not a really love. Then after the love, it becomes a more love. And then the marriage. The real marriage, not I promise you, with the ring and everything. I tell my granddaughters, if you don't have no ring, you say a goodbye. With the ring and everything. First come the love, then come the marriage, and then come the sex. This is my advice for you. I lived on this earth 92 years. And I think my advice, she's a pretty good. Some of my most happy times in my life, if you see me and I have my chicken button on, then you know this is a happy day for me. Thank you very much.